but I'm streaming on a PlayStation. Welcome back. Back with the NxtGens and their long-running, I say long-running, they've had a series like this running for a little while. But the Megane trophy, so I'm just getting the notifications out. Live for lobby 1 of the PMR Meganes. I never quite know what to call this series. Oh, that sounds a bit weird, but when they're sponsored, I never know quite where to get the sponsor logo in. Alright, that's that anyway, I can stop waffling. So, we will go through the points during quali, because I've just been sent them by JPH, thank you mate. Yeah, so we've got the Suzuka East track tonight, a nice short little track for you. Not too much in terms of track technicalities here, it's a very difficult track to overtake on. And the, well, I was going to say weird thing with this race, but it's not a weird thing, it's a very good thing. The spiciness of this race is that the top four, as far as the championship goes at the minute, they are unable to qualify for the race, so they will be put in reverse grid or reverse championship order at the back. So that is Huracan, Ruddo, Hill Climb and Timmy. They will all be relegated towards the back of the grid, and their challenge, if they wish to accept it, is fighting their way through the pack. Huracan, how are you doing? So this man right here leading the championship by on 146 points, so 26 points in the lead. He risks having that gap slashed tonight if he is unable to fight his way through the pack. The good thing for Huracan is we've not got many drivers in. We seem to be missing quite a few. We've got, well, JPH needs to enter. We've got 10 people. That is nothing. Let me get my keyboard. Even in JPH, we're missing people, dude. Like, I wanted to give Huracan a bit more of a challenge. That man's going to steam through in about 3 laps. JRH, good evening, Squire. I hope I find you all well. So a nice short stream tonight for those of you that are just tuning in maybe for the first time, or maybe this has just popped up on your feed and you're wondering what's this nonsense. This is the PowerMax Racing Megane Trophy, we'll call it. This is a league run and operated by the good folks over at NxtGen Racing. We're coming towards the end of the season now. We've only got, I think it's this and one more race left. Am I right, JPH? Or is it? Is there another race after this? Is there not another race after this? I always forget. Yeah, so that's it basically. The idea of the race is it's a 10-minute qualifying, 20-minute race. We are limited to the cars, so the cars are all the Group 4 Renault Megane Trophy. They have the exact same power, the exact same weight. There is no tyre degradation, there is no fuel depletion at play. It is all about driver skill and ability. One more after this, cool, thank you. Thought there was. But Huracan with a 7th can... Alright, got you, okay. Well... let's be honest with each other, right? unless we get more races in the lobby than this, 7th is a very realistic possibility, at least for Huracan, innit? Man's an alien. But yeah, it's just aimed really at finding out who can extract the best performance from this particular car on these particular tracks. We have, it's not strictly limited to small tracks, but the calendar certainly features a lot of tracks like this that are quite difficult to overtake on. So we've had Brands Hatch Indy in the past as well. Scuba has also featured in this, and those tracks typically feature these reverse grid races, so it just makes that challenge of fighting back through the field a lot more difficult. Woodo, how you doing, mate? So those guys that are going to be up to the back of the field tonight, in theory, have got a harder task ahead of them. We do have a genuine Gibbo for pole hashtag running tonight, and he could very well spring a, I want to say spring a surprise, but he's got a genuine possibility of doing something with this. The drivers are parked up waiting. This is testing, of course, at the minute, so this isn't always representative. Gives you a good idea of what we're looking at. Here it comes, popped in a 48.5, so that might be a decent sort of ballpark for the guys to be looking at, and certainly the guys that are lapping around at the minute are struggling to beat that. So that tells me Rally Matt's popping in some good times. He's just 2 tenths shy of Hirocram's time in practice, so is Adam ID. P-Gib doesn't look to have really bothered with a time, 2 tenths, so yeah, P-Gib would be P2 as well in this sort of format. So not too much in terms of technicalities to the circuit. It is literally just Suzuka's sector 1, and then it loops back round to the start-finish straight, so it's just the S's and the straight essentially. Yeah, times are very close, but there's not a lot of time in terms of the circuit, mate, is there? Like, it's not a long circuit, it's not a long lap is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm very tired today. I'm working early at work this week, and that means I'm up at like 4 AM. So I'm a very tired boy, so apologies if there is any yawning going on in the stream tonight. So I'm kind of grateful it's a short stream, I'll be honest. So some guys are getting some practice starts in. Matty Rudge seems to be a new driver. I think he might even be a filler for tonight. Perfect, right, just waiting for that to go then. Hi, Ma. Yeah, you're on a stream, you're not on like a very, like, you're not on a popular streamer stream. It's not something to get too excited about. Right, it's 10 minutes quali then. So Tim is one of the drivers that's been set what we call a target lap time, so because we want them in reverse championship order at the back, these chaps have to set a time particularly close, so it will order them at the back and everyone else will set a lap time that's faster than that. So someone that will be watching in quali tonight, who isn't watching the stream tonight because of some issue with his internet, is P-Gib. He's someone that has he's a filler, is he? Alright, fair enough. He has a very realistic opportunity. So does Jano. Jano's just dropped out of the top 4. He's had a few bad races. So him dropping out of the top 4 and Timmy taking his place effectively gives Jano a bit more of a free run tonight. He can qualify in these races like everyone else can. And he has a good opportunity. Right, so we'll run through the points very quickly. Evans Caravan Park says hi. I've got 9 people watching, so yeah, the Caravan Park have tuned in, mate, in their droves. They thought this was the race replay from the other night, so they all got excited. Right, so championship order then. All drivers not currently present, so I won't be able to show you all of them, but leading the championship by 26 points is Hirocram. He can seal the championship a week early if he gets any higher than 7th place today. P2 in the championship is Rudo 24. He'll be looking to put an end to Hirocram's reign. Rudo's had a good season, has kept Hirocram pretty much honest as much as he can. Hull Climb Racer, who was initially keeping Hirocram at bay, is 3rd on 115 points, and then we've got Timmy, who is on 110. He's in P4, so that's your top 4 all sorted. I think Jano in 5th, he's on 93 points. Then we have P-Gib on 77 points. Tied with P-Gib on 77 points is Bruce Lee Harding. And we've got Rally Matt in 8th on 67 points, with JPH on 66 points in P9. D Whitehouse rounds out your top 10 on 51 points. And you got Saxo and Waste. Both drivers aren't racing in the league anymore, but they're in 11th and 12th respectively. Adam ID in 13th. Scrim Grey on 27 points in 14th. Mr. Burntfire never finished the league. Is in 15th with 26 points. KB, who raced once with us, is still in the table at 16 points in 16th. Andy G, 15 points for him in 17th. Les, who is a filler, is on 10 points in 18th. Super Fast Bobby, who I believe raced that one race at the Red Bull Ring, famously took a driver out and then, and then the restart behaved himself. He's 19th with 8 points to his name. So that's your lot in terms of tables. Let's have a look at the early pace. So Rally Matt is your early pace setter. Let me get all the info on, and I only want that for lap times. So early pace for Rally Matt, 48.9 for him. P Gibb has actually just beaten that with a 48.8, immediately beaten by Bruce Lee Hardy with a 48 as well. So just 400s for second between the top two, and 200 for second between second and third. In fourth is Adam ID with a 49.0. Matty Rudd, filler tonight, 49.1 for Matty Rudd so far. He's just starting a new lap now. Mr. JPH on a 49.1 as well. He's 6th with Jaino in 7th, but he has gone purple. So we might keep an eye on Jaino. And then we've got the guys that can't set particular lap times. So Woodrow will, I think Woodrow will need to go a little bit quicker than that. He will, won't he? But yeah, they'll just be parked up watching the action now, no doubt. You damn it, you've qualified. Woodrow, you donut. Oh, well, to be fair, mate, all that needs to happen is hill climb, and Timmy just needs to beat your time. Rally Matt still holding that P1 spot, 48.7 for Rally Matt, then at 800s for second over Bruce Lee Harding. Both on quite good 48 lap time to qualify. Right, okay. JPH does sometimes 1 minute, I will. Don't climb 1 minute 10, and Timmy, what will Timmy have to do? Timmy can stay as he is, can't he? Timmy's just going to have to go. Let's have a look what's hill climb done so far. So hill climb's races are 120. Timmy just needs to do 1 minute. I'm sure JPH won't mind me hijacking his qualifying format. It just keeps it. Oh, he's there. He's typing. I'll just stay 40 seconds slower. It just makes the most sense. Because they've got time to go out and redo the times. It's not an issue. These things happen. No problem, dude. Rally Matt then improves his time, 48.739, so he now moves a full 10th clear at the top. Bruce Lee Harding hasn't improved on that early pace. Jaino, though, has come to the party, 48.8 for Jaino, P3 on the road. So one person I'm expecting big things from, and I know he won't feel the pressure because he won't be listening, is P Gibb. 48.8 for P Gibb at the minute. He is a 10th and a half shy of pole at the minute, and I think he's really eager to get himself up there. It's alright, whatever. It's muscle memory sometimes, isn't it, dude? Kicks in. So Tim is on that now, so is hill climb. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so these guys will just creep to the line now. So Rudder will just, hill climb will just wait there until he gets near enough to 110, and then he'll just creep across the line. Timmy will do the same. Alright then. P Gibb does improve. P Gibb actually leaps Jaino with 48.871. 4 thousandths of a second faster than Jaino, who's going to have another crack at this. Adam ID has improved his time, 48.9 now. Matty Rudd looks like he bins himself off the circuit to get out of the way of someone, but 49.1 for him. JPH continuing on. Timmy has set his, yeah, perfect Timmy, thank you. That's Ruddo there, yeah, there we go. That's it, he'll climb a 109. Yeah, I think that's fine, Ruddo. So you just need to, yeah, you just need to reset your time and you'll be fine. Winner. Right, all good things are sorted. So Rally Matt's lead is now Chump. P. Gibb has heeded the call. The flame of Gondor has reached the home of the Gibbo, and he's finally showing up to the party. 48.7 now for P. Gibb. 2 laps in the 48 club. He's found his rhythm, and now solidly in P2. Half a tenth down from Rally Matt, who I think has all but given up on improving that. Bruce Lee Harding, good showing for him so far, but he set his early pace on lap 4 and has struggled to do better. But like I said, don't get it too excited by the purple lap time in sector 1, because you just, if you get stuck, like he might be stuck behind a car now. Does hill climb go faster? Yeah, he does, doesn't he? I think for, yeah, but he set the time he should have done, mate, to be fair. I think you just need to go slightly faster than... I thought you were just going slightly faster than hill climb. That's what I thought you were doing. Because hill climb set at 140. So you need to set like a 130 odd, don't you? If you're in P2 in the championship. Yeah, that's what I mean. You need to go a bit slower. You need to go a bit faster than hill climb. So if you go out and you just set like a, what do we call it? 1 second. You should be setting last. Yeah, that's what I mean. You need to go slower than hill climb. So hill climb, what's he put on the board? He's put a 1099. So mate, if you do like a 111, you'll be fine. Right, let's have a little bit of a quali recap then. Last lap's coming in now. Rally Matt, does he improve? No, he doesn't at that time. Jano has gone P2. 48.759 for Jano, great lap for him. P. Gibb, 48.7 for P. Gibb, so that's going to be a third on the road for P. Gibb. Not a bad representation for him. Bruce Lee Harding, 48.8. Didn't improve that early lap pace, but he's still good enough for 4th. Adam ID, mate, yeah, he's out of that one. JPH, 49.1 for JPH, 6th on the road for him. Timmy is 7th. Ruddo, we're just waiting on Ruddo setting that time. It's going to be hill climb and... Can it just be set? It can be, yeah, it can be. It can be. If that's easier for people, it's not a major issue. I'm sure no one really cares about a minute or 2 delay. Hill climb and Timmy both set the times we asked them to, Ruddo, mate. But no, it's fine. It's fine, dude. It's fine, mate. It's okay. It's not a problem, man. The thing is, like, I don't know. I was going to say Gran Turismo Sport's not really built for this sort of stuff, but that's why we kind of retrofit it to make it work, don't we? But it ain't an issue. So Marty Rudd, the new guy. He's in 11th at the minute. Marty, you need to go past sector 1. So does Rally Matt, doesn't he? Finish line is so close to the last corner. Yeah. What time has Ruddo done? Ruddo has set a... Oh, I don't know because it disappeared because he went to the pits to try and reset it. But if you want to do some big shot quick maths, it's 13.5 seconds below Rally Matt's 48.7. Basically 40 seconds faster than Hirocram's time. So it would have been, yeah, it's nowhere near like a pole time, it's nothing like that. I just think he might have forgot where the finish line was, that's all. Genuinely looks like that. Ruddo did a 102. Yeah, that sounds about right. Quick maths. That is, the lads are going nuts now. Right. Do you want me to send you a little picky, JPH, of the order at the minute? 1 second. I'm gonna do it now. I'll start last. No, you're fine. You definitely don't want rear-facing camera. So that's top 8. Got it wrote down. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to say it's a bit skewed because you're sat in the pits. It's fine. That, well, there's only like 11 of us, so it's not going to take too long. We will get there. We will get there. Oh, right. You know what? I'm going to take this. I don't often get an opportunity in this stream to have my tea, so I'm going to have it before you all start racing and cause absolute carnage. That will no doubt happen. But well done to Rally Matt for his pole position. Good time for Rally Matt. J now in P2. Monsieur Gibb, and we are away with the final. Very close times. Yeah, Hirocram made that point. It's very close times equals a very close race. So watch out for this one, ladies and gentlemen, because all the fast lads are at the back of the field and we get away well. There was a car that didn't get away so well though at the back, but I think whoever it was that was back there managed to get out of the way of it in time. That was the car belonging to Matty Wood. That didn't get away well at all. But one car that is getting away well is Rally Matt. He's leading away to Jano. P. Gibbs dropped place down to 4th. He's been chased down now by Adam ID. Good start for JPH. He's continuing in 6th, ahead of basically ahead of the surge of fast drivers behind him. But this is Hill Climb, Ruddo, Hirocram, and Martin Wood now. He's going to be trying to fight these guys to try and get through. Rally Matt's got to use this opportunity. He's got 20 minutes until the flag drops. As it stands, the current championship leader is 2.5 seconds behind him. That gap will extend as the championship leader tries to find his way through. The championship leader's also got Hill Climb Racer in front of me and Timmy. And of course, everyone else, as we've seen in qualifying, the times are very tight. So the pace will be equally tight in the race as well. It's just all about keeping your head in this race and not letting the pressure get to you, not looking at that timetable too much. In some cases not even watching or listening to the stream, because I will be giving you rolling updates on how these guys at the back are getting on as they will patiently look to pick their way through the field. So Hirocram currently in 9th. He needs to make up 2 more positions to seal the championship. And of course that will be involving Jano has made his way to the top of the grid. Took that position off Rally Matt. Bruce Lee Harden and P. Gibb battling away. P. Gibb's going to try and hold the inside line here. That will give you, yeah, Bruce Lee Harden actually gets on the brakes a little bit early there. Pretty much gives P. Gibb the spot. Let's have a look at how Jano inherited P1. So he was following Rally Matt. Rally Matt actually, yeah, just goes a little bit deep. Jano takes no prisoners in just taking that position straight back. So Jano doing Jano things, isn't it? So all the drivers, other than two little separatists at the back, are all within the same sort of space. We've got Woodo back there as well. Woodo may be feeling a waft of self-punishment. Let me just turn this stuff on the side off because it irritates me. There we go. Jano rocking away at the front. Rally Matt following close behind. P-Gib holding third at the minute, and a little bit of a penalty as well. Bruce Lee Harding trying to find his way past the Steel Seal car, but struggling at the minute. Adam ID in the Master Vault number 6, defending in a way to JPH, as we've got a little bit of moving about. Who was that? That's P-Gib making a mistake again. He's down to 9th now. That was through what he's technically turned 2. It's a turn 1 nice and tight, but he does just struggle to get the car slowed down in time, and unfortunately that just puts him way out west, basically. Down in P9 now, behind some of the fast lads. So he has got Woodo behind him and Hiracom ahead of him. So P-Gib's best opportunity to get back through the field here is using Hiracom as a battering ram, proverbially. Jano leading the way then, P1. Rally Matt pretty much keeping him solidly honest. There was a second gap behind them now to Bruce Lee Harding and Adam IG. JPH was defending there to Timmy, but JPH goes a little bit on the AstroTurf there on the right hand side, sorry, on the left hand side. Can't tell my left and rights today. And that does allow Timmy through for a relatively easy move. Next up to attack JPH is Hiracom. JPH is the proverbial cork in the bottle here. I said earlier in the race that Hiracom was 2.5 seconds away. He's not really dropped too far back. He's only 3 seconds away from the lead now. That just shows you how tight the pace is between this entire field. The championship leader is lapping at roughly the same time as everyone else is. So he might well struggle to pick his way through the pack. So we are a quarter of the way through the race. This is only a 20-minute sprint race. There is no tyre wear, there is no fuel depletion. It is all down to driver skill. Jane and Rally Matt now pulled a 7/10 gap over Bruce Lee Harding. JPH has got a little bit of a gap over Hiracom now. He can start to probably try and attack Timmy back. Hiracom's having to worry about Woodo, which is why that gap's opened up. So if we just jump on board with Woodo a second, he's looking to pick a line past Hiracom at some point. So yeah, Hiracom's not often a person who makes that many mistakes. He's pretty clinical in the way he operates. Currently Hiracom doing enough to seal the title in P7. Meanwhile, looking to seal the win, Jano still holding off Rally Matt. Rally Matt is trying to hassle him through though, and because of that they're not really dropping the guys behind. Maybe they're not too bothered about that. Track position here is vital, of course. It's very difficult to make a move here at Suzuka, especially as you get into this tight twisty section. If you can defend on the straight, you'll be absolutely fine. P-Gib now right down to the back of the field. Not sure what's happened to P-Gib. Oh, he's gone way out again. He's having a bit of a nightmare of a race. Is P-Gib down in 11th place now. Was third, now right down at the back of the grid. Alright, let me go back to my cup of tea. JPH briefly had the fastest lap there. Until Hiracom cruelly snatched it away from him. How dare you, Hiracom? How dare you be fat? There was movements going on top. Bruce Lee Harding's looking ever so threatening against his top 2 now. Hill climb, looking at the back of Woodo. Woodo's dropped off Hiracom a little bit. It's probably what's given Hiracom the impetus to start pushing forward now. Doesn't have to worry too much about that defence. But just going on board with the back of Jano's car, you can see the Megane train has formed. It's very difficult to break that train. Saying that, Rally Matt goes a little bit off the circuit, living up to his name, doing a little bit of rally cross. Press the wrong button. Why am I doing that, Chris? What are you like? So that's given Bruce Lee Harding the opportunity to get up to P2. Rally Matt holding 3rd, Adam ID in 4th, Timmy 5th at the minute, but JPH is still looking hungry at him. Hiracom's still not managed to get past the PMR racing car. Then we've got Goodo and Hill Climb, and the rest are people that have pretty much just fallen off the circuit one way or another. So here it comes, looking like he wants to get this move made now. He's been measuring JPH up for a couple of laps. Maybe potentially trying to spot a weakness, or just waiting for the right opportune moment to get that move made. That moment might be coming towards the end of the straight. You don't get a ton of slipstream in these cars, everyone's in the same slipstream chain anyway. So unless JPH drops out of Timmy's slipstream, I might find it difficult getting past him on the straights, because he'll just be getting sucked along as well. A cup of tea consumed. Right, can get back to the job in hand now. Jano still leading the way. It is Bruce Lee Harding piling on the pressure now. Rally Matt's getting a little bit of pressure from Adam ID, but he's equally trying to apply that forward. Actually, as we see that, Timmy goes for a bold move down the inside. It was a nice overtake that by Timmy. I want to go and watch that back again in a moment. I just want to wait and see what happens at the end of the straight. So any moves at the top, probably looking unlikely. We've got two cars running on the grass. That's Hirocom and JPH. Hirocom is becoming somewhat desperate to get past him now. He's seen Timmy making moves forward, that's what he's seeing. So let's have a look at this move on Timmy. So Timmy's measuring up Adam ID up ahead. Takes a wide line, cuts back in. Lovely move from Timmy there. To get that cutting on the inside, that was nicely done. Hirocom is still stuck behind JPH. JPH is taking the most defensive line possible. Importantly now, Hirocom's almost forced him to get out of the slipstream. So again, side by side these guys go. But there isn't really much in it. JPH can just be quite late on the brakes. He's got the inside line. Instead he defends to let Hirocom go. Immediately back on the attack again though, but that's Hirocom now up to 6th place. Bruce Lee Harding now up to the lead of the race. What's happened to Jano? No, they're fighting away. It was Jano, then it's Bruce Lee Harding, now it's Jano again, now Bruce Lee Harding now. And Rally Matt's coming back to have a look at the inside of the 3M car. That's Jano shuffled down to 3rd now. As we can see a little bit in the background, Hirocom trying to have a pipe at Adam ID. Adam ID actually now off the circuit. It's going to let a few cars through. Lap 12 has had it all, ladies and gentlemen. Hirocom now up to 5th place behind Timmy. Within definite range. He's now within a second of the race leader. And that was 3 seconds a couple of laps ago. It's down to just a second. That's how much fighting there has been happening at the top of the field. And that's the time it's cost them against Hirocom, and we've just about hit the halfway point of the race. So we have another 13 odd laps to go here, and this is far from settled. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Jano, because I don't think we saw it. So he's leading the race at this point. He has to go very deep there. That gives Bruce Lee Harding the run on him. Bruce doesn't need an invitation to chuck it down the inside. He's got the space. He's got his car in there, so he's entitled to stay there. But Jano was losing out in that one. Shuffled down to 3rd. Bruce Lee Harding leading the race ahead of Rally Matt, ahead of Jano. Bruce Lee Harding having to defend. Rally Matt's going to try and look around the outside. A move around there is quite impossible to make, because in fact Jano tries to take that position off him instead. Rally Matt has to take to the grass. Yeah, that's Jano up. Rally Matt though immediately comes straight back at him. That's Timmy. You just see shuffled onto the dirt there as Hirocom tries to get his way past the works car as well. JPH still running 6th. He's now got Hill Climb and Goodo behind him. And of course Adam ID. There was a car there, Who was that? I want to say it was Rally Matt. It was Rally Matt. What happened to Rally Matt? So it was on the final corner. He carried too much speed, and again, yeah, he just got his back wheel caught. Let's put him down from when it was He's pretty much near the top of the field. He's now down in 10th. That's given Bruce Lee Harding a bit of a gap. Jano's got a little bit of the pressure relieved now, but that has promoted everyone else up a position. So Timmy now in 3rd with Heracram in 4th, Hillclimb Racer in 5th with Ruddo in 6th, Adam ID in 7th has got past JPH now. Rally Matt has already made a place up on Matty Rudd. Matty Rudd is 9 seconds ahead of P. Gibb. So we've still got other drivers running as we start lap number 16 here at Suzuka. Maybe looking to pick up another place here on Timmy. So it's really early on the brakes there. Timmy having to take that narrow line. That's really a little bit slower because of the narrow line. Jano's had a very eventful race. He's now faced with quite a few more eventful laps as well, as these two drivers are going to try and pass their way past Jano. This of course is letting Bruce Lee Harding escape a little bit. Plenty of time left in the race, we've got 7 minutes yet. Plenty of laps left in this one, plenty of opportunities for different moves to be made. JPH has shuffled down to 8th. Rally Matt will be trying to make some places back up as well. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. Does Timmy go for that move? No, he's not close enough. So it's at the stage now where things have probably chilled a little bit. And when I say chilled, I mean they're not kicking each other's heads in anymore. I don't know if Heracom's won any of these reverse grid races yet. I want to say he has now. I've got a terrible memory. I need to start writing this stuff down. I need to write a stat book, but I don't get paid enough for that sort of level of commitment. But either way, Heracom's not always had it his own way in these reverse grid races. He's definitely not won many of them, if he's won any at all. So he's now dropped a little bit of time against the leader. That gap between him and the leader of the race now 1.4 seconds. As Ruddo makes his way past Hillclimb after Hillclimb went a little bit deep at turn 1, so that's Ruddo up to 5th now. Bruce Lee Harding with a 1.3 second lead over Jano. Jano's just got his hands full with defending. So that's Jano's view behind him, and the view in front of him is an escaping Bruce Lee Harding, basically, who he's trying to keep at bay. The problem for Jano now is he's dropped out of that slipstream, so he's not getting the aero assistance from the car in front. He's just punching a hole in the air now for all these guys. So you've got your Timmys, your Heracroms, and potentially now even your Ruddos and your Hillclimbs are just going to be on this guy. And he's got to withstand that pressure now for another 5 minutes, and that's easier said than done. Tim is trying to apply that pressure. My laptop's just timed me out. Let me get back on chat. JPH is down in top. JPH is on an off-ski somewhere. Don't think we'll see what it was. No, it happened earlier on. They'll probably be secretly quite glad we haven't covered that. Right, so here we go then. This is where Jano starts to get the pressure on him. Tim is trying to force a move down the inside. Jano's going to be like, there's no room at the end now, I'm afraid. Tim is going to put his car there anyway. The works car's bullied its way through. Heracom's been shuffled out of the way by Ruddo. We can go and have a look at that from Ruddo's perspective. As Heracom's now shuffled down to 4th position. Timmy then not able to get that move successfully pulled on Jano. Jano very good defensively. There's a handful of drivers I would say would really put up with the pressure, and Jano's probably one of them. It's not really going to have much of a choice now. We've got 3 and a bit minutes remaining. That battling has let Bruce Lee Harding escape even further. These guys are just going to start battling again. I can't really zip away to watch replays, because as soon as I do, something else will happen and I'll miss it. Let's just jump on board Heracram for this one. This time very well behaved. Timmy gets the back end a little bit loose. A little bit loosey-goosey. Let's see if we can just watch Heracram's perspective of that fact, let's jump on board with Woodhoe. So Woodhoe just see, yeah, Heracom just opens a gap and he just goes for it. Fair play. Fair play. All that fighting just caused Heracom to go a little bit deep. Woodhoe was like, cheers mate, I'll go down the inside then. And Jano's still withstanding the pressure. Timmy's still putting that pressure on. Heracom is still getting pressurised by Woodhoe. He's got himself back through now though into P4. And Hill Climb now is the next car to get involved in this fracas, and he may well make a campaign for that 5th place at this corner. Indeed he does. Timmy looked for a move there on Jano. Looks like he may have even backed out of that one. Heracom's looking for that move on Timmy. That gap between Heracom and the lead of the race, by the way, is now 2.2 seconds. It is slipping away from him. Bruce Lee Harding now nearly 2 seconds clear at the top of the table, at the top of the race, top of the order even. It's probably a nice way of putting it. Then it's Jano, it's then Timmy, it's Heracom in 4th, Woodhoe in 5th, Hill Climb in 6th. I'd be very surprised if it finishes like this. Valley Matt's fought his way back up to 7th, Adam ID in 8th, Matthew Rudd on his debut race in 9th, with JPH in 10th and P Gibb for 11th. They will fight it out for the not last challenge. Jano then having to defend again to Timmy, who goes around the outside at turn 1. Timmy might have done better to learn his mistake earlier on that one, because all that serves to do is open a gap that Heracom can squeeze himself into. Woodhoe and Hill Climb are fighting away for 5th as well. Very exciting last couple of laps as Hill Climb actually gets rid of a penalty there. So he's going to get short of that penalty and will get right back in the fight. Woodhoe is still carrying a little bit of a penalty. He needs to consider that now, because that is a penalty he needs to think about dropping. Jano will have just 2 more laps to get rid, to survive this onslaught. Now the car behind him is Heracom. Now the challenge increases. Timmy gave him enough of a fight. Heracom's response is again to go around the outside. Jano's going to shut that door. That's going to give Timmy a run up the inside of Heracom. Jano just wants those two to fight. The more they fight for position, the more he's going to get away. Indeed, that's exactly what they end up doing, and Heracom ends up going nearly off the track. Woodhoe actually gets his way past into 4th. Heracom down to 5th because he was pretty much forced deep through the S's. Rally Matt might even try and get through now. That's given Jano the break he needs. That the gap there between Jano and Timmy is now 5/10 of a second. That is a vast yawning chasm in these Meganes, and he's going to. Timmy might struggle to get him on this last lap, but we will of course see last lap now for these guys as we have 13 seconds remaining. Rally Matt trying to get his way past Hill Climb Racer and Woodhoe. Sorry, not Hill Climb Racer, just Woodhoe. Woodhoe actually runs a little bit deep there, but eventually recovers. Woodhoe should maintain that. Let's have a look then at the top. Bruce Lee Harding 2.1 seconds away in the lead. He's done a fine job since he escaped out there. Jano still just about ahead of Timmy. Time is running out, as Muse once sang, for Timmy to do anything about this. The gap is 4/10 of a second. Jano has now just got one more corner, one more throttle application to do, and then he is home free in 2nd place. Very, very hard fought 2nd place for Jano. Bruce Lee Harding wins the race. Jano does bring home that 2nd place. Timmy in 3rd. Heracom brings it in 4th. He does win the championship today. Hill Climb Racer in 5th, with Woodhoe in 6th. Rally Matt in 7th. Matthew Rudd in 8th. Adam ID in 9th. JPH finishes ahead of P Gibb by 3/10 of a second and wins the not last challenge. Whew. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Well, I'm sure that some of the drivers will probably pop into the stream now and give their thoughts on that one. But yeah, that was just a battle. Good fun. So grats of course to Bruce Lee Harding for bringing home the race win. They will be dancing in the streets outside the Dread office tonight, socially distanced of course. And again, it was hard fought for everybody. Like, Bruce Lee Harding had his work out. He just took advantage of situations when they appeared, and drove off into the sunset essentially. But a big congratulations to Hirakram for the title. He has won the title with a week to spare. I think that does. Let's have a look at the final standings. That's the final standings of the race. Yeah, so 1.7 seconds in the end was the gap between Bruce Lee Hand and Jano. And then yeah, there was 15 seconds covered the entire field, which considering P-Gib went off twice, I'm pretty sure JPH went off as well. So did Adam. So yeah, there was nothing in it after 20 minutes between any of these guys. Yeah, very hard to overtake, but that's why that's picked. It's the exact reason why that track's picked. Yeah, anyone could have won it. Anyone could have won that. I think the last few laps, Mr. Bruce Lee Harding, it was pretty obvious that as long as you kept it on the black stuff. And I think you might owe Jano a beer because he was grafting for that second place. Like he was getting swarmed, and his defensive driving that day was really good. Like Jano's defensive driving was pretty much off the chain. Well, actually, that again. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, P-Gib. Every time I cut to you, mate, you just ran it a little bit deep out of turn one, just carried a little bit too much speed. Hard to avoid a bit of wheel banging. Yeah, it'll happen. I don't think, Timmy, there was anything malicious. There was a little bit of like, I'm just going to throw my car up there and that's what, but we want that. This is like a touring car sprint series. I was in 7th, only 2 seconds off the lead at midway. Yeah. Yeah, it was a big train. Spun at last corner. Oh, was that it? Fair enough. Yeah, I must have missed that. Maggiore GP, so a big circuit next week then. So hopefully we have a full grid for that one. So join me for round 10 next Thursday night, the final. Sorry, not Woodrow. Hirakram has already won the title. It's going to be the battle for second and the finishing positions, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong as well, JPH, but this is also a qualifying race for the race of winners. So if anyone does get into like the wildcard entries, we tend to pick people that are in second place and stuff. So if you want a position in race of winners, you need to do well next week because those points are all up for grabs. I might be wrong on that, but I don't know. Right, well that's me done for the night. Thank you very much for tuning in if you have. Really appreciate your support as always. Next week at 8 o'clock for the Meganes again at Lago Maggiore. Next time I'll be live is going to be Sunday. We'll be with the Meganes, the M4s. I can't remember what track they said they were at this week. I have been looking at the chat. I can't remember what they said. I want to say it might be Suzuka as well. Might be the full Suzuka circuit. Yes, it is. Top 2 from both lobbies will be entered in row. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that sounds about right, JPH. Sounds about right. Like that, if you ever get wild cards in, or you need to like fill spaces, because you never really know how many people you've got qualifying for it from leagues and stuff. So. Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about that in due course anyway. Right, I'm going to be closing the stream down now because I've got some other stuff to be getting on with. But I appreciate you tuning in as always, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the support. And I will, of course, catch you in the next stream. Thank you, take care of yourselves, and yeah, have fun. Bye-bye.